Of all the Enneagram personalities, the 9 main types and the 27 subtypes, the social 3 has always interested me the most. Those who know me will know why, but for those who don't, I'll show you my character, Raphael Valibe, the main protagonist of my oft-mentioned novel, Blood of the Insolent. So, what is a social 3? Well, the 9 Enneagram types are defined by humanity's 9 most common vices, as shown on screen. But these 9 types can also be split into 27 subtypes. Each type has a conservation, social, and sexual variant, which denotes whether a person's Enneagram vice is geared towards survival and self-satisfaction, your social role in the eyes of the world, or personal relationships first and foremost. Naturally, the socially 3 is the most Enneagram definition vain of the 3s, with the desire to maintain an impressive image geared towards their role in the eyes of the world. Those definitions alone aren't enough to fully determine whether someone is a social 3, however. For that, I'll go through the types in the Reinhold trait structure list and explain how the most important traits from it can manifest through the use of my book's main character. Now, many fictional socially 3 characters like Jeff Winger from Community and Cho Sang-woo from Squid Game all have different personalities on the surface, but when you look at the traits list, you start to see the same patterns. The first set of social 3 traits we'll look at are competitive, vengeful, and histrionic. Understand that when discussing Enneagram, the sharp, caustic words often used to describe the types are solely negative, but they could also denote positive traits. You'll see that as we move forward. In essence, Raphael Valibe is our bright, tormented, arrogant, and brilliant protagonist. That description alone clues you into the first set of socially 3 traits. Anything goes to stay on Mount Olympus. This is the quote often associated with this type's competitiveness. It's shown through the ruthless strategy Raphael deploys to become the unconventional Slave Warfront's best new commander. This cold strategy is where his vengefulness shines through too. With his old life and family destroyed, he's willing to do whatever it takes to build a new one, with schemes to destroy those who he believes have wronged him. As for being histrionic, this is one of those words that has a separate meaning in the Enneagram sense. The socially 3 is a pragmatic type that doesn't give in to emotions easily, but they show a histrionic trait through impatience and subdued anger. This describes Raphael at the start of the book to a T. Before he receives the opportunity to earn glory through war, he's characterized by an agonizing emotional darkness. The next 3 traits we'll discuss are chameleonic, occasional inverted gender performance, and manipulative when giving and receiving. Like most social 3s, Raphael's gregariously astute and knows how to either blend in or stand out in a new social environment. He starts his time at the unconventional Slake Warfront, quiet and alone. Yet through his friendship with the popular soldier Alessandro Pieri and his exceptional mission competence, he quickly becomes one of the USW's most recognized and adored faces. His sharp, almost feminine good looks and calculated charm also help him in this field, relating to the occasional inverted gender performance trait. And naturally, a little manipulation goes a long way. A few favors given to fellow USW recruits and political figures outside go a long way in terms of receiving the support he needs for his grander schemes later in the story. The next set of traits are proportionism, avoidance of death, and attachment to money or the image of his house. Raphael shows the first trait through his battle plans. With his bizarrely long memory and penchant for predicting political outcomes, his mind is naturally tuned towards being able to analyze, filter, and optimize the ideas of others and develop them into new, brilliant tactics. But the rare few times in which we see his plans fail, we see the classic socially 3 fear of death, the frozen state that comes about when thinking of how he might be gunned down before his plans will come to fruition. And the many times we see him win, however, we later see his attachment to money and the image of his house. Glory might be Raphael's main driver, but the ability to waste a chunk of his money on friends and fun is one of his key motivators. For our next pair of important socially 3 traits, we'll look at seduction and professional independence. Raphael's seduction is portrayed through the story's main subplot, his rivalry-turned relationship with Zoe West. Unlike the rest of the unconventional Slake Warfront, Zoe in the early chapters isn't yet swayed by Raphael's chameleonic social charm. Instead of being impressed, she starts off jealous and worried that he'll take her spot as the top commander. Though as time passes, Raphael's able to win her over. A few moments of intimacy here and there take them from being at odds to being the deadliest USW strategic partnership and passionate lovers. But even with this partnership, Raphael still showcases the socially 3's professional independence. Another subplot in the story is his rise through the company. He's shown to not be content with just being a commander. He craves the freedom of political power beyond even the top ranks of their clandestine militia. Moving on through the trait list, we have repression and internal laziness. Socially 3s are described as feeling the need to constantly repress any feelings relating to fear, embarrassment, or violence in order to maintain an impressive image. Raphael often skips fear with action, as people of this type are known to do. A key example is his recovery during a mission late into the book, where his entire spy squad is killed. In this section, Raphael is terrified of being the next to die, but the fear of failing this mission and being known as the one responsible for the clandestine militia's exposure forces him into action, leading to one of his most audacious battle plans and a grueling mission recovery. And just like fear, Raphael overrides even his physical needs to get the job done. His drive to achieve competence and mastery over his commander duties have him put his long memory to use, with some chapters showing him spend entire days reading up on books that will help him increase his rank, neglecting even the thought of having a good night's sleep. The final set of socially 3 traits relating to our Blood of the Insolent protagonist are envious, cold, ambitious, and impatient. Envy in this context describes an attitude of wanting to have the possessions others have, but not their inner content. Likewise, one of Raphael's hidden motivations throughout the story is wanting to find out and expose the elite benefactors who fund the unconventional Slake Warfront. And from what I've told you about him so far, you know it's not for any noble reasons. Contrastingly, cold in this Enneagram context is exactly what it means in any context. It's his aforementioned constant pragmatism that allows him to tear down whoever stands in the way of his goals. This goal-striving coldness can also be said to relate to his final trait, ambitious and impatient. For this personality type, there is no such thing as a break from climbing the societal mountain. This striving for a better position in the world is endless, especially for particularly toxic socially 3s. And that's what makes Raphael's story so compelling. His endless climbing of the social mountain is done in a brutal military environment, one uncommon for this personality archetype, which is more likely to be found in business meetings and boardrooms. But Raphael treats war like it is a business. He treats the constant bloodshed around him like an enterprise that he and his loved ones can seek to profit off until the end of their days. If you'd like to learn more about this socially 3 character, or see many more manifestations of different personality types in the same entertainingly dark military environment, read my book, Blood of the Insolent. Check the description for more information. Take care.